Peace everybody, back with another video. This is Jim Carrey's Showtime series Kidding canceled after 2 seasons, and as you can see here in the video, in the pictures, Jim Carrey himself. Of course, he's always been the kind of guy that's a little quirky half the time. He's funny, he's silly. He's been in movies like Ace Ventura and Ace Ventura 2, When Nature Calls, The Mask, and other kinds of movies he's been in. Jim Carrey's TV series Kidding has been canceled. Page 6 has exclusively learned. So Jim Carrey's TV series Kidding has been canceled, and this is what Page 6 has exclusively learned. Insiders said that the decision was made months ago, but that Carrey and the producers wanted to keep the news secret because he wants to win an Emmy. Alright, so the insiders, they said that the decision was made months ago, so it might have been maybe, 4, 5, 7 months ago, who knows. But that Carrey and the producers wanted to keep the news secret because he wanted to win an Emmy. So they wanted to keep it secret, so this way nobody would know about it or anything. Showtime confirmed to Page 6 when we reached out for comment on Tuesday that the show will end its run after 2 seasons. So Showtime did confirm it to Page 6, and they reached out for comment on Tuesday that the show will end its run after 2 seasons. So if you happen to have Showtime and have that, and you've been watching that, say goodbye to it, because it's going to end after 2 seasons. Insiders told us that Kidding showrunner and executive producer Dave Holliston had already told the told the casting crew the series was ending, but to keep the info under wraps. So insiders told us that Kidding showrunner was executive producer Dave Holliston has already told the casting crew the series was ending, but they needed to keep the info under wraps. Dave called all the actors and said everybody on the show is released, a source said, but to keep it a secret because Jim Carrey wanted to compete for an Emmy, the source added. Jim was campaigning hard for an Emmy. He did not want it announced that the show was canceled. So Jim Carrey was competing for an Emmy. He didn't want to announce that the show was canceled. He didn't want nobody to know about it. So this is how he felt, that he was going to win an Emmy. Emmy nominations come out July 28th, later than originally scheduled due to the pandemic. The first phase of voting was bumped from June 15th through the 29th to July 2nd to the 13th. So that's how the Emmy nominations were to come out July 28th, later than originally scheduled due to the pandemic, but I call it the scamdemic. The first phase of voting was bumped from June 15th through the 29th to July 2nd through the 13th. But another source insisted that Showtime's decision not to renew the show was delayed due to the coronavirus pandemic, and that Emmy season was not a factor. So how can Emmy season not be a factor when the show is being canceled and Jim Carrey is secretly voting for his Emmy nomination? But then, of course, another source insisted that Showtime's decision not to renew the show was delayed due to the coronavirus pandemic. Well, Showtime has already confirmed that the Showtime series Kidding was going to be canceled after 2 seasons. So how How can they say, oh, that the Emmy season was not a factor? The show started Carrey as an iconic children's TV host named Jeff Pickles, and guest stars included Ariana Grande, Tyler, the Creator, NBA star Blake Griffin, and Dick Van Dyke. Yeah, so that's who they all started. The show starred Carrey as an iconic children's TV host named Jeff Pickles. He had there was guest stars included Ariana Grande, Tyler, the Creator, NBA star Blake Griffin, and Dick Van Dyke as well. Showtime said in a statement after 2 seasons, Kidding was concluded its run on Showtime. We are very proud to have aired this imaginative, critically acclaimed, and rewarding series. And we would like to thank Jim Carrey, Dave Holliston, Michael Aguilar, Michael Gondry, and the entire cast and crew for their brilliant and tireless work. Yeah, so that's what Showtime is saying in a statement. After 2 seasons, Kidding was concluded its run on Showtime. We are very proud to have aired this imaginative, critically acclaimed, and rewarding series. So, and of course, he thanked all of the others. He thanked Jim Carrey, Dave Holliston, Michael Aguilar, Michael Gondry, and the entire cast and crew for their brilliant and tireless work. And it's not easy working in the movie industry, because you got to get up real early in the morning to get to work and everything else. A rep for Carrey told us Jim has already given an exclusive comment on this to the Salem Town Crier. Now, I don't know anything about the Salem Town Crier, so it's a little weird for me right there. But there was a rep for Carrey told us Jim has already given an exclusive comment on the Town Crier. Carrey has won Golden Globes for his arty films Man on the Moon and The Truman Show, and he was nominated for an Emmy in 2018 for the documentary Jim and Andy, The Great Beyond. This year, he starred as the baddie in Sonic the Hedgehog. So he did. Alright, so Jim Carrey had won an Emmy in 2018 for the documentary of Jim and Andy, The Great Beyond. Alright, and this year now, he starred as the baddie in Sonic the Hedgehog, and of course, we all know who Sonic the Hedgehog is, because it's based on a video game, literally. Carrey has won Golden Globes for his arty films, Man on the Moon and The Truman Show, so those were the most typical shows, or the good movies that he has won. Perhaps iconically, Carrey's just put out a semi-autobiographical novel in which a character with the same name is having an existential career crisis because he stooped so low as to accept a role in a film called Hungry Hungry Hippos in Digital 3D. So yeah, so Jim Carrey had just put out a semi-autobiographical novel in which a character with the same name, of course. Of course, the film was called Hungry Hungry Hippos in Digital 3D. The book Memoirs and Misinformation was co-authored with Dana Vachon, and it begins with Carrey holed up in a Brentwood, California mansion, and reportedly flashes back to details including a feud with Nicolas Cage, an aborted Mao Zedong biopic penned by Charlie Kaufman, and a digitalized ghost of Rodney Dangerfield. And of course, we all know Rodney Dangerfield is a funny comedian as well. The book Memoirs said Misinformation was co-authored by Dana Vachon, and it begins with Carrey holed up in in a Brentwood, California mansion, and reportedly flashes back to details including a feud with Nicolas Cage and a aborted Mao Zedong biography, and of course that's penned by Charlie Kaufman, and a digitalized ghost of Rodney Dangerfield. Gondry, who was an executive producer on Kidding, directed the acclaimed Carrey film Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, which was written by Kaufman. Yes, so Gondry was also an executive producer on Kidding, and of course Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind was written by Kaufman as well. So there you have it with Jim Carrey about why the show Kidding is being canceled on Showtime after 2 seasons. Leave your comments below. I am out.